My name's Mark Perfect. I'm the Contracts Director for Pendrich Height Services in Midlothian. Pendrich is a high-level maintenance company who specialise in all aspects of high-level maintenance. Four main companies which operate within the Pendrich group are the Rope Access Division, the Steeplejack Division, the Lightning and Protection Division and the Fall Arrest. What we do at Pendrich is we have various contracts managers who look after each division, and the objective today is to run through each of the divisions and show how the operation works.
Okay, good morning. My name's Paul Campbell. I'm the General Manager for Pendrich Height Services. My remit is quality, safety and training. Today at Pendrich we're going to show a typical working day within the company. It will start off with the typical toolbox talk, which will be conducted by Mark Perfect, our Operations Director, with the operatives. Once the toolbox talk is complete, we will show the job pack getting created and the guys getting organised to go out to Cockenzie Power Station to carry out a steeplejack job. The job will be detailed and described by our operatives once we get on site. The toolbox talk will then be conducted again on site, looking at the different tasks for that day. The chimney is a 550-foot concrete chimney at Cockenzie, and we'll see typical steeplejack laddering getting used. So we will move on into the meeting room and we'll have a look at the toolbox talk and the pre-start meeting. Thank you. Welcome to Pendrich Height Services toolbox talk and pre-start meeting that we're having this morning. Just as a quick introduction around the table, we would like to introduce Mark Perfect. He's our Operations Director and will be conducting the pre-start meeting this morning. We have Mark Williams, who's the Contracts Manager, and will be overseeing the production down at Haddington Town Hall. And on my right we have Craig Williams and Craig Cox, who are the operatives from Pendrich Height Services, and they will be erecting the scaffold down at Haddington Town Hall as well. And as we move along, we have, which is most important, the signatures, which is the Contracts Manager who has created the paperwork for this job, and also myself, which I've overseen and approved the production of this document. The document also contains a rescue plan, 3-step rescue plan on here, but again it's specific to the site, and once we come on site we will discuss the rescue plan further. This morning we're having a look at the pre-start meeting at Haddington Town Hall, mainly directed towards Craig Williams and Mark Williams. Mark Perfect will be talking specifically about the job and the details on the job, etc. The tasks that we'll be carrying out today. Within the job pack we have a toolbox talk. The toolbox talk can be several different tasks. Specifically for Haddington Town Hall, they will be mentioning again about scaffolding, because that is going to be the main task today and throughout the job. But it could be other tasks as well. A good example of that might be adverse weather, windy conditions, and it's up to the site manager who is experienced to really make the call whether the guys ascend or descend. Most importantly, in the toolbox talk, we have an area where we actually sign and print our names. Why do we sign and print our names? Well, it's simple, because we have the most important piece of equipment that the steeplejacks use, and that's a harness and lanyard. So we have, which is very much along the lines of the firefighting service, a buddy check. Both Craigs beside me, they will check each other's harnesses and lanyards and they'll sign them off. The harness has a number, and this goes back to the checks that are done within the stores area by competent people. The job pack then comes to the most important document, I would suggest, is the risk assessment. Risk assessment is a 5-step risk assessment. It has an activity, a hazard and a risk to the people. Uncontrolled, this could be extremely high, especially when we're working at height. Controlled will lower the risk, and it's controlled by a competent person, usually the site manager, on the day-to-day tasks that a steeplejack has on site. but overseen by a contracts manager who usually has many years of experience. Once again, we go through the controls that are to be used that have to be specific to that site. When we look at the risk matrix, we look at the consequences and we look at the likelihood. This is completed by the contracts manager. He prints his name, he signs it and he dates it. It's very important to date it to make sure that we keep up with current legislation. And again, once again, it's approved by myself as the general manager of the company with a remit for quality and safety. There are other documents within the job pack. Areas that are specific to East Lothian Council in this case, but in other areas we look at near miss, accident reports, and we look at documents which are specifically filled in for people who are attending site. That could be to do with myself auditing the job, inspecting the job, right down to a client entering access and egress to the site. So, to move on to a typical pre-start meeting within the office here, which will progress onto the site at Haddington Town Hall, and we'll see a toolbox talk being carried out on site as well. I'll hand you over to our Operations Director, which is Mark Perfect. Thank you.
Morning lads, what we're going to do is we're going to do the site brief for Haddington Town Hall. I've carried out an inspection to this in the recent week, and as an emergency situation that we have with the Town Hall. Currently the situation is that the council have cordoned off the roads around each elevation of the base to divert traffic away from the building, and appropriate Harris fencing has been put up around the lower sections of the building. The problems which have been identified with this structure here at Haddington Town Hall, it stands 50 metres for base determination, and we have the finial rod at the upper levels, which is completely loose and unstable. What the proposal is that a scaffold is erected at the 50 metre level to contain the finial rod at the top and stop any further oscillation developing with this part of the structure. Further down the structure, what we have is around the drip courses, haunchings of concrete have been introduced around these areas and are completely loose, they are unstable. So we have to ensure that when we're climbing the structure that we are vigilant, that we can make these areas safe as we go up through the route of the ladders. There's loose sections of stonework around the drip courses here and to the main columns of the spire. The first objective with the structure is to work for the lower levels. We have an existing scaffold here which has been in place for approximately 4 years, and we have now done a new scaffold design to adapt the scaffold and take the scaffold up vertically to the next drip course to contain this area where complete safe access needs to be achieved to remove all the defective and loose stonework. That is the basic tasks that need to be done. Mark Williams, you'll be in charge of the contract, your contracts manager. Craig, you'll be the site manager. The objective is to get this scaffolding up to this design within a 12-day period. This is the timescale which has been allowed for roads department. The roads need to be reopened back within 12 days. So we're looking to try and get this done within the 12 days. Again, the first priority is safety here. We need to look at this as paramount. We need to get the loose stonework made safe first and foremost, get the scaffold up and erected to this design. There's full lists of scaffolding. The scaffolding has now been delivered to site, so everything is within the corded area at the lower levels of the structure, and we need some basic equipment which are sheets being put through to stores, so everything should be ready for you to load up and get down to get this underway.
Okay, this is all your stuff for Haddington Town Hall, mate. All your power gear, your lifting gear. This is all your tests, everything. Everything's all part tested and in date, everything's good test that's right, mate.
You've got any buckets?
Aye.
There's some buckets of
Right. I'll get you to check this over and sign it when you're ready.
lads, we're here. The objective today is we're going to carry out the toolbox talk for Kilkenzie Power Station, 560 foot chimney stack. All the permits are now in place, the works order's in place. Everybody's read the specification of works. The objective is to erect ladders to one vertical elevation of the stack, to the base, to the top. The way we're going to carry it is, Paul, you're going to lead the way today. You're going to be laddering the stack. Tom, you're going to be assisting them. John, you're going to be on the ground and you'll keep them supplied with the ladders. Everything's in place, all the paperwork. What we need to do is now just run through the safety critical points. Obviously the wind is a major factor. I wouldn't expect with the wind today that we're going to get right to the top, so we need to gauge it as we're going, the wind speed, etc. And if it is too windy, we'll stop, come down, we'll get another wind reading. The way that we're going to be laddering is your double lanyard system. You'll hook on, hook off as you're going up. Tom, you'll be the same as you're receiving the ladders and passing them to Paul. Safety first, all the time, that's paramount. Keep everything organised at ground level, John, and radio contact at all times. The main objective is obviously to get to the top of the stack. We're going to rig cradles to the external of the chimney. There's spalling concrete coming adrift for the windshield, and what we're going to do is firstly make that safe and make this area completely safe. Sections of concrete are falling off the chimney and it's an imminent danger to people round about. So we've cordoned off the safe area to allow the ladders to be erected, so that's the task. So if I can get everybody everybody's read through this, and if we could just get everybody to sign on to the toolbox talk and do their body checks. We're ready to rock and roll.